Hello guys, in this session we are going to learn how to debug our application. Debugging allows us to run program interactively while watching the source code and the values of variable. We are putting a breakpoint in the source code which specify where the program should be stopped during execution. Once the program stops, we can debug the value of variable and change its contents. For debugging, we need to use the debug menu or the debug toolbar in the Visual Studio. For debugging in Android, there are three ways. The first is Ripple Emulator. It is a HTML5 browser-based mobile application testing tool which works with the Google Chrome. Android Emulator. It emulates the entire Android operating system. Physical device, in which we need to connect our mobile device to computer via USB, and we also need to enable the USB debugging in the device. We already see how to debug in the Ripple emulator as well as the Android emulator. For debugging in Windows, there are three ways. The first is a local machine, in which our application will install on the local machine. Second is a simulator, in which our application will simulate on the local PC, where it requires the username and password for logged in user. Third is a physical device, in which we need to connect our device to computer via USB. And we also need to enable the USB debugging and developer mode. For debugging in iOS, we need to install the vs-md-remote tool on your Mac via npm. Again, there are three ways for debugging iOS application. Ripple emulator, which is the same as Android. Emulator, which will emulate the iOS on Mac. Physical device, in which we need to connect the iPhone with the Mac. Let's switch to Visual Studio and debug our application. For this, we need to create a button. When the user presses on this button, it will show the alert dialog. First of all, we need to create a button in the HTML. And we also need to specify the ID for that button. We need to retrieve this button on the JavaScript by using the document.getElementById method. By specifying the ID of button, that is the btn. We need to write the event on this button with the addEventListener method. We need to listen for the click event and specify the event listener name. And now we need to create a event listener function, that is a getAppName. And now I am going to pasting a code that used in our previous session, in which we are setting the value in the local storage as well as retrieve it. Instead of showing in the console, I am now place it in the alert. And now I am going to debug this application in the Ripple. Here is our application. When we click on the click here button, it will immediately switch to Visual Studio. You can now see the yellow point that come here. And by hovering the cursor, we can see the value of the any variable. Such as we can see that our local storage contain the app name. Debug toolbar contains the menu button like step in, step out and continue. Now I am going to use the continue button. It will immediately switch to the Google Chrome and display the alert menu. Again, when we click on the button, it will switch to Visual Studio. Same process will be continue. Thanks for watching.